not like us. They
Stephan
not
Media.
like us. They not like us.
In today's episode, we'll be talking about the Drake and Kendrick lawsuit. Well, actually, Drake versus UMG lawsuit. Okay. Apparently, they dismissed it. Okay. Which we all kind of assumed or thought. All right. But so we're going to go over that and also stick around to the end of the episode. We'll have an episode with Bag Check with my co-host Stephan. So make sure you stick around for that. All right. So without further ado, let's go and get to it.
They not like us. They not like us.
It's the critically acclaimed hip-hop anthem at the center of one of the most famous rap beefs.
Years all eyes on me and I'ma send it up the pot.
And this morning, the legal battle over Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, a diss track directed at fellow rap superstar Drake, could be near its end after a federal judge tossed Drake's defamation suit against his label, Universal Music Group, determining the song's lyrics in question are non-actionable opinion. Lamar, who is also represented by UMG, is not a defendant, but Drake asked the court to take a look at these lyrics.
Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to set.
For those who are not in the know, which I can't think is that many out there, but Drake almost dared him to talk about how he likes young women. Okay. He mentioned in the diss song called Tailor Made where Drake pretended to be, well, Drake used AI to use Tupac's voice, but it was Drake rapping, but it sounded like Tupac. And in that song, he mentioned that he knows he's going to talk about him liking little girls or something along those lines.
Wrote a song about it, like the kid here go.
Doc, we need to know the baby West Coast victory, man. Call him a bitch for me. Talk about him liking young girls, that's a gift for me. Heard it on the Button podcast, it's gotta be true.
Okay, come on, Drake.
Black one.
The judge categorizing the lyrics as dealing the metaphorical killing blow, but adding the broader context of a heated rap battle with incendiary language and offensive accusations hurled by both participants would not incline the reasonable listener to believe Not Like Us in parts verifiable facts.
A rap battle historically has always been between two rappers that exchange the most aggressive rhymes that they can in order to insult. What this means for culture going forward is that rap beefs continually will be protected underneath the First Amendment and freedom of speech. This is a part of the culture of hip hop.
Not Like Us was released amid a weeks-long exchange of diss tracks in spring of 2024, and just hours after Drake's Family Matters, which seemingly accused Lamar of cheating on his life partner.
You did it dirty all your life, you tryna make peace. You really about to do it?
He accused Kendrick of cheating. He accused Kendrick of being a woman beater. Then he also accused Kendrick's friend of being the father of one of Kendrick's children.
Wrote a song about it, like the kid here go. Have the kid.
Wow, he did all of this before Kendrick made a diss, at least far as in the current battle. And then when Kendrick finally chose to respond and do what Kendrick does, then he turned around and sue since he lost the battle. Man, I think I mentioned in the last episode that don't dish it out if you cannot take it, all right? That's where I come from. Don't dish it out, Drake, if you can't take what Kendrick's gonna say about you, especially if you say very malicious things towards him. And Kendrick didn't cry about it. He just, well, didn't address it, but he just did what he do. Come on, man.
Lamar going on to perform the hit at this year's Super Bowl halftime show.
Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young.
UMG releasing a statement saying from the outset, this suit was an affront to all artists and their creative expression, adding they look forward to continuing their work, successfully promoting Drake's music. Overnight, a spokesperson for Drake telling ABC News they plan to appeal the judge's ruling.
And did y'all know Drake also mentioned a lot of streamers and people that does, you know, reactions and stuff like this, like what I'm doing right now. But during that time period, when Drake filed his lawsuit, he also mentioned the highest streamers out there. You know, he put them in a lawsuit as well for promoting Not Like Us per se. Crazy. They were playing Drake songs just as much because, well, I'll get to that later.
And again, Kendrick Lamar is not named in the lawsuit. He also hasn't responded to our request for comment. Meanwhile, advocates for the Protect Black Art movement are calling this a win for creative freedom. A lot of questions about whether this reignites the beef, if we see more diss tracks, but you know.
Well, you know, if you're going to lose the lawsuit, just go ahead and go back at them. Right? Keep on going.
Yep.
Just don't let it turn violent. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
only in words.
Right. Yes, indeed. Morgan, thank you.
So there you have it. So Kendrick got another W without saying a word. All right. So is that like the second or third win since the Not Like Us joint or what? Because it was the Not Like Us success, and then the pop out tour we had everybody on stage singing Not Like Us. The one when LeBron James was dancing on stage and Westbrook and all of that. Drake didn't like that either. But then the Super Bowl. I don't know if I mentioned that. The Super Bowl happened, and then with this right here. So that's like 3 or 4 W's from Drake. Well, okay, Drake didn't start it. Kendrick somewhat started it per se. I'll give that to him. But when it was definite that we were beefing now, Drake was the one who really kicked that off. Kendrick was saying just little small stuff here and there, just like both of them been doing that for years. Little small stuff here and there, just poking the bear a little bit. They've been doing that for a really, really long time. And Drake always kind of avoided it per se, right? He didn't really jump out there like that. And I think Kendrick, for the longest of time, wanted him to jump out there. So he kept poking him, and Drake was poking him as well. But then when Kendrick did the diss in the Future song, yeah, he came at him pretty hard. And Drake, I guess he was like, skip that. I'm in it now. Let's go. Let's roll. I will say when Kendrick started dropping, he was very, very specific in the way that he dropped his music. Will, it's specific. You sound like an idiot when you say Pacific. Pacific is water. Specific. Thank you, sir. Dude, again? Steph, chill out, all right? Chill out. But anyway, yeah, I don't really have much to say with this because it's a fairly old story, but it is new, the fact that the lawsuit was dropped. I think we all kind of expected that to happen anyway. How can you sue somebody for saying something in the song? Like Dre was under the expectation, or he was trying to paint it as people thought it was factual what Kendrick was saying. And you know, I'll talk about that too. In my opinion, I believe the reason why Kendrick even said that was because, not that he believed Drake is an actual pedophile, at least I don't think so, but Drake has done like sus things in the past, right? Like there was a video where he was on stage at one of his concerts and somebody said they were, I think 16 or underage or something like that, and he proceeded to kiss them on their forehead. But it's stuff like that. And he had, you know, friendships with very young girls apparently, but like I said, nobody, at least I don't, people didn't think what Kendrick was saying was factual, but that was the basis of Drake's lawsuit, saying that people thought it was actually factual information he was saying. Well, if that's the truth, why couldn't Kendrick sue him for saying I beat my wife or whatever else he said about him, you know, about the Dave Free being his child's father and stuff like that. Yeah, it was really a crazy lawsuit, man. I didn't think anybody thought this had any feet to go anywhere. Drake also, another reason why he did this was he said that it intentionally, that the record label, like I said, he didn't sue Kendrick, he sued the record label, saying that they promoted Kendrick Not Like Us intentionally to drop Drake's price because apparently he was in contract negotiations or something like that. And so if he was dissed like this and if his reputation drops, that maybe they can get him for a cheaper offer. But it was all kind of fictitious, just all kind of made up. Like UMG promoted both artists because UMG is going to win in the end. You know, they're going to win whether Drake sells or Kendrick sells, and definitely if both of them are beefing with each other, you know. So nobody promoted Not Like Us more than Drake's. It was just that it just caught on. It got caught on, and once again, Kendrick was kind of waiting for it. And when he came out, he was You know, it was crazy. It was one of the greatest rap beefs of all time. Definitely go down to the greatest of all time. You know, there's something else. In fact, and I'll say this on record. In my opinion, the best song released in the diss track was Drake's song. I'm a Kendrick guy, right? But Drake's Family Matters was ridiculous. Like I still play that song more than Not Like Us. You know, Not Like Us more successful. It's the bigger song, but my personal favorite song released in the entire diss is Family Matters by Drake. You know, then it's probably Euphoria, Not Like Us, etc. Both of them had great songs, and Drake should have just took that L and just, you know, went and did what he do, you know, finished making dance music and the pop songs that, you know, people like me don't really listen to. I like Drake when he's rapping, not when he's singing. I don't like that. Apparently Kendrick feels different. He says,
Wrote a song about it. Like to hear it go. Black enough. I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he act tough. You gon' make a nigga bring back Puff. Let me see.
I like Drake singing melodies. I don't like Drake when he act tough. But yeah, man. I don't have much else to say with this one. For real. Everything's been said already. So I guess this is gonna be my quickest video ever. All right. Okay, so without further ado, this is gonna be the next episode of Bag Check with Stephan. All right. Unfortunately, here he comes. So without further ado, here, take it away, Steph. Peace. This is Stephan from Stephan Media, and with another segment of Bag Check. My time is very valuable, so I'm gonna give you all about 2 minutes today, okay? Okay, here we go. So in today's episode of Bag Check, we're going to be talking about what a stock split is and how it can affect you. Okay, what a stock split is when a company feels as though their share price is too high, they will drop the price in it so it's more available to a wider audience. Okay, for instance, if a stock price is $1,000, they know a lot of people don't have $1,000 per share, right? So what they would do, they will announce a stock split, let's say a 10-to-1 split, where each share is $100 at that point. Okay, so let me give an example. Let's say Apple share prices, let's keep it easy. Let's say Apple share price is $100, okay? And Apple announced a stock split, a 10-to-1 split. That means for every share you have of Apple on whatever date is announced for the stock split, for every share you have, you will acquire 10 shares for that one share. The result of that, however many amount of shares you have, instead of it being worth $100, now it's worth $10, okay? People tend to think, now, when this is announced, what tend to happen is that the stock price shoots up because your average person think, I'm getting 10 shares for every one share, so I'll have more shares, meaning I have more money. But it's not like that, because you have the same amount of money. Like for instance, let's say if you have a pie, if you cut a pie in 10 equal amounts, you still have one pie. You just have 10 slices of a pie now. You don't have more pies now. Okay, it's the exact same thing. If they announce a 10-to-1 split, although you will have 10 times more shares, the value has been divided by 10 as well per share. Okay, but what tends to happen is when they announce a stock split, the share price tends to jump up because they know with the excitement of the stock split, people get excited, they start buying more shares, so the share price tend to go up, even though the value just on a split basis does not increase the value at all. But nevertheless, once the stock is split, you get 10 times how many shares you had. So if you had 100 shares, now you have 1,000 shares. But previously your 100 shares were worth $100 each. Now your 1,000 shares is worth $10 each. Doing the math, it's still the same amount of money. Now the opposite of that is if a company announced a reverse split, okay? A reverse split is the exact opposite, meaning that the company will give you, let's say it's a 1 to 10, right? So that means for every 10 you have, you get 1. And the company does that for the opposite reason, okay? You have to have a X amount of, the value of your stock has to be a certain amount of money for it to be listed in the stock exchange, okay? So if the company value of the stock gets too low, they'll have a reverse split, so the share price will go up, okay? Once again, you don't have any more or less money. You just having less shares at that point. So let's say, once again, if you had 1,000 shares, now you're going to have 100 shares with the 1 to 10. But once again, it multiplies your value now. So each share will be worth more money now. I hope that makes a little sense. All right. Hopefully I did not go too fast, but that's what it is. A 10-to-1 split. As far as a stock split means you have 10 times more shares, or etc. They tend to have 5-to-1, 3-to-1s. Like Apple has been split several times since its inception. Okay. You can, maybe I'll do research one of these days and illustrate that as well. But split, you don't make more money with the split. Okay. This just people think that you don't get more money for the split. Just because I take one pie and cut it in 10 slices, I don't have more pie now. I still have one pie. Okay. So just think of it like that. All right. So with that said, this was a nice quick episode of what a stock split is. Once again, the share price do tend to go up when that is announced, because it causes excitement, especially for valuable companies like Apple, Amazon, Tesla, etc. But that's going to be it for this episode. So do me a favor once again. You know what I'm going to say. Like, comment, and subscribe. Me and Will is out of here. Goodbye.